Hello, everybody. Hello. It's April 14th, Thursday, 2022. And here are some of today's trends in the news. Trends in the news. The only place anywhere in the world that you get the trends in the news. What in the world is going on? What it means. What's next? And what to do. So, the S&P 500 and NASDAQ Composite fell Thursday. So did the Dow. They were down for the week, capping a loss. Losing week as investors digested mixed earning results from major banksters and rising inflation. And what else? Let's see. The NASDAQ was down 2.14%. S&P sunk 1.2%. And the Dow was down 113 points. And what else we got here? You saw on Tuesday. Great. Remember fuckface Fred Powell? Fuckface Fed Powell? Inflation's only temporary. Who the hell are you to say it's real? I'm the Fed head. It's only transitory. Who are you to deny what I'm saying? You're full of shit, Salenti. You've been saying inflation's real for going on 2 years it's going to happen. You're a liar. I am the Fed head. It's only transgendatory because look at what we got as the U.S. Treasury Secretary that used to be the Fed head. Janet Yellen. All right? It's transitory. Transgendatory. It's fucked up, and fucked up people are fucking us up. And not the way I like to be fucked. Supplier prices were also the hotter than expected. This is yesterday. Up 11.2%. The Purchasing Price Index, the PPI, up 11.2%, marking the biggest gain on record. Okay? This is serious. And we're telling you in the Trends Bureau, we don't tell you what to invest in, we tell you what we are and what we see things going. And you know the bottom line. Think for yourself. Retail sales figures in March slightly missed expectations with a 0.5% gain. You know what drove the gain? Gas stations sales. So people are buying less. These numbers are fucking fakes. They're buying less and it's costing them more. This thing's going down big and hard. Oil prices settled higher on Thursday. And let's see, Brent futures are up. They closed at $111 a barrel. Oh, gas station prices, right? And West Texas Intermediate was up 2.59%, $106 a barrel. The New York Times reported that the European Union was moving toward adopting a phased-in ban of Russian oil. Great, great. It'll help a lot. You're not going to be able to fill the supply that you need. Gold inched lower on Thursday, but prices finished second consecutive weekly gain, $1,971 an ounce. The Trends Journal costs you $2 a week. The toilet paper of record, the New York Times, $3 a day, $6 for a Sunday edition of shit. The Wall Street Journal, $5 a day. I just told you what gold is. All right? If you read the Trends Journal and you're a subscriber, okay, way ahead of the game. Palladium rose 2.13%. Palladium you use in catalytic converters, and Russia only has 40% of the palladium around the world. And now these sanctions are driving up prices. And again, out of the fat mouth of the President Biden, No, they're not going to deter Putin, the sanctions, but they'll fuck everybody else up. ECB officials converging on quarter-point hike in third quarter. Officials. Official pieces of shit. Look at the name they give these bastards and bitches. And I can't say the other word, but the other guys are dicks. Yeah, the dick that ran the ECB, he became the Prime Minister of Italy. Yeah, that's what's happened to Italy. Mario Draghi, former Goldman Sachs gangster, worked for the World Bank, head of the Italian bank, and now he's running the show. Anyway, central bank policymakers are forming a consensus around increasing interest rates in the third quarter of 2022. Okay? What do we have? A 7.5% inflation rate in Europe. 7.5%, and you got negative rates, and now they're expecting to raise them by 25 basis points. This is total fucking bullshit. You got it. Again, according to the International Monetary Fund, your interest rate should be 1 percentage point over inflation, like they made Argentina do, having at 44.5% interest rates because inflation is running like at 43.5%. And they borrowed money from the IMF, so they're going to tell you what to do. Facing inflation that's almost 4 times their 2% target alongside threats to the Eurozone's pandemic rebound, officials are cautiously winding down stimulus. Remember, they bullshitted us that 2% was the target. They're full of shit. They're full of shit. Canada and New Zealand both raised rates by 50 basis points. Okay, the Bank of Canada lifted and made interest rates to 1%, a move widely expected by economists. You ready? Its biggest increase since May of 2000. 21 years. 21 years. All they're doing is enriching the bigs so they could buy up everything and own everything because they borrow the money for nothing and artificially drive up the markets. Consumer price index inflation is now expected to average almost 6% in the first half of this year. So you really should have a 7% interest rate. Yen falls to 20-year low amid stimulus pledged by the Bank of Japan. Total failures, lowering interest rates, buying up bonds, a total scam, and they go on to say that Bank of Japan officials, official pieces of shit, had so far embraced the weaker yen as a boon for Japanese exporters. The yen falls to a 20-year low. Exporters, how much oil do you import into Japan as prices are escalating? You're one of the biggest energy importers in the world. By the way, go back to World War II. Yeah, United States cut off its oil going into Japan, just like they're doing in Russia. Different game, different time, same outcome. War, war, war. EU ban on Russian energy risks sharp German recession. Oh, this is coming from top economists, and this is from the Financial Times. A full EU embargo of Russian energy would trigger major recession, sending output down 2.2% next year and wiping out nearly 500,000 jobs. Great, great. Keep those sanctions going. What bullshit this is. How come nobody put sanctions on America when they invaded Iraq, when they invaded Afghanistan, when they invaded Yugoslavia, when they invaded Syria, when they invaded Yemen? Oh, no, I forgot they only helped in Yemen. When they invaded Libya. Oh, I know why. Because the same gangster gang was a part of it. NATO. NATO. Fuck NATO. I'm an American. I'm only concerned about my country. And save your shit. Oh, we have to get involved to help other people. Hey, fuckface. You got in all these wars, you haven't won one, and all you did was kill a lot of people, so fuck off. This is between Russia and Ukraine. Mind your own business. Industrial metal stockpiles shrink after record power prices impair production. Dun, da, da, da. Crunch on steel components lift prices. Inflation. It's only temporary, Salenti. It's transitory. Britain faces 7% inflation, only the highest in a decade. Global trade pulls back on war and China lockdowns. Oh yeah, things are going to go up. And you know what's going to go down? We've been writing about this since 2020 when the COVID war began. Commercial office space. It is going to tank big time. Office lease expirations pose risk to landlord. They're just writing about this now. Cities are dead in a lot of places, man. Working part-time at home is a reality. You don't want to commute an hour and a half back and forth. Let me work at home 2 or 3 days. So if it goes down 20% from where it was, that's big. Again, the estimates are 30% of the dry cleaners are dried out, man. They're out of business. This thing is going to be hard. What they have caused with this COVID war is unprecedented. And you're not getting the realities from the mainstream media prostitutes. You're getting it in the Trends Journal. 25% of Americans felt financially stressed all the time last year. Isn't that great to feel financially stressed all the time, like you don't have enough other fucking shit going on in your life that's fucking you up, and now you got to go down because these sick people called your mayors, your senators, your congressmen, your county legislators and executives and presidents and chancellors and prime ministers fucked it up with the COVID war. It's unprecedented what they've done. Unprecedented in world history, locking down businesses. If we're going to flatten the curve, 2 weeks. Yeah, flatten your head. Another 41% say they feel financially stressed sometimes. Isn't that great? Now, who's this by? CNBC plus ACOMS. All right, GlaxoSmithKline. In a $1.5 billion deal to buy blood cancer specialists. Tech startup Checker acquires good hire for $400 million. Open Web buys French ad firm for $100 million. All right? The bigs keep getting bigger. It's one of your columns in the Trends Journal each week. The more economic things it'll be in your Trends Journal. Big investors gloomy on prospects for global growth. Financial Times today. All right? But this is what you get when you spend $3 a day for the toilet paper a record. Look at this. Look at what they do. They put a big fucking cartoon that takes up half the page. They do this so they don't have to give you any information. All right? This is the business section. Nothing but pure prostitute bullshit. Look at this. It's a joke. It's a joke. Sanctions target oligarch Chateau, UK island assets. $7 billion. These stealing of these Russian people, banning sports figures, banning, singers and all these other, this is sick. You're blaming what's going on, and the Russian people aren't responsible for it. You're closing up all these businesses over there. You're hurting the people. How come they never did this to America with all the wars America started? How come the Russians didn't take Bezos's yacht? Huh? Why not? Hey, America got in the war, steal Bezos's yacht. Take Buffett's money. Why not? Take Gates's dough. Get all the billionaires' money. America started a war. Can't you see how sick this is? Talking about sick, and again, Ms. Fatsa Brut, our U.S. Treasury Secretary, Janet Screaming Yellen. Where is she here? You ready? Neutral nations face isolation, Yellen warns. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen said countries that maintain their ties to Russia after an invasion of Ukraine risk facing isolation from the global economy, sending a warning shot to nations that have so far remained neutral in the conflict. As it has crafted with the allies a wide-ranging package of sanctions on Russia, the U.S. has urged China to close partnership of Moscow, not to provide substantive aid to Russia, or take steps to undercut the sanctions, on and on. Could you imagine her telling people what to do? Could you imagine her telling the Chinese what to do? And what right do we have to do that? How come the head of China didn't warn all the countries that supported America in their murderous wars not to become involved with America? What hypocrisy. And China is saying basically, shove it up your ass. U.S. causes humanitarian disasters around the globe, killing innocent civilians and creating millions of refugees. America, the human rights destroyer. This is from the Global Times, published yesterday. They're doing one article after another. Ukraine crisis instigator. U.S.-led NATO reneges on not 1 inch eastward promise. Instability brewer. Behind every war and turmoil in the world, you ready? A shadow of the Star-Spangled Banner. Vampires in war. U.S. warmongers feeding on the bloody turbulence in other countries. Cold War schemer, reminiscing in its past victory, U.S. brings color revolution to 21st century to maintain hegemony. The poison disseminator. One article after another attacking America. This is from the Global Times. As I said, China and Russia versus U.S. and NATO. The winner is? And Biden administration provides more intelligence and heavier arms to fight Russia. The Biden administration is working to significantly expand its intelligence in providing to Ukraine forces. Could you imagine if Russia was providing intelligence to Iraq and Afghanistan and to Libya? All right? But that's okay. Or Iran in being involved in the Yemen war and supplying more to the Houthis, which they deny, but the Saudis say they're doing. But it's okay for America to do this. And intelligence? What intelligence? You guys haven't won a war since World War II. What intelligence? That they're going to hit the World Trade Center? What intelligence? Using the word intelligence to describe America's intelligence agency is an oxymoron. There's no intelligence there. And $800 million more as our country is dissolving over here. Roads are all rotted. The place is falling to shit. See what happened in New York City with the subway. That we said was going to happen, warning that when people lose everything and have nothing left to lose, they're losing it. And the mental duress that people have gone through with the COVID lockdowns. And you're sending now that's almost $3 billion they sent since Russia invaded in February 24th. $3 billion. U.S. nuclear-powered warship goes to area. U.S. nuclear-powered aircraft carrier was sent to the waters of South Korea and Japan this week to display American naval superpower amid growing tensions over North Korea's missile tests. North Korea has no right to test missiles. Only the United States, its allies, and Israel do. That's it. Nobody else does. America, could you imagine if the Chinese had going through the Gulf of Mexico? What the hell are we doing over there? Naval power? You guys haven't won a war since World War II. Save your shit. I launched Occupy Peace. We're having a peace rally on May 28th in Kingston, New York. Judge Andrew Napolitano is going to be one of the speakers. If we don't have peace, we're going to die for war. You're going to hear more about it, and we'll keep you in tune. Yeah, got a lot more stuff here. Le Pen backs reduced role in alliance, signaling hard turn for France if elected. This is Marine Le Pen, who's running against Gaston Macron. And she wants to basically pull out of NATO. And so did de Gaulle. He wanted no part of it. Yeah, we'll get involved if we have to, but we don't want to be a part of this club. Good for her. Party turns on Morrison before Australia poll. This is great. It's from the Financial Times. Within hours of Australian government announcing a giveaway budget that Scott Morrison had hoped would propel him to a second term as Prime Minister, his own party began tearing into him. Conchetta Wells, a senator from Morrison's Liberal Party, unleashed a blistering 10-minute character assassination, calling her boss an autocrat, a bully who has no moral compass. The verbal onslaught was just the latest damaging blow to Morrison ahead of the May 21st election. In the past 2 months, leaked messages from his colleagues have painted him as a complete psycho, a fraud, a hypocrite, and a liar. And the people suck up to this little piece of shit. You suck up to that little piece of arrogant shit. You do what they tell you to do. I forgot about Danny Andrews. Oh, yeah. You remember him? And what happened to that other one that quit, that chick that got caught fucking that guy that played a premier? Been jerking off, whatever her fucking name was. Look at the clowns that people take orders from. Yep, he's Australia's longest-serving Prime Minister, 15 years. You're cowards! The world is filled with cowards taking orders from these little pieces of ballish shit. Dictators. Yeah, on both sides. Speaking of which, despite fine, UK leader gets his support of his party. Once said that Prime Minister Boris Johnson had taken quote, taken responsibility, another that he had apologized unreservedly, while the third appealed to Britons to look at the bigger picture and cut some slack to a politician who was delivering for Britain. By Wednesday, nearly every member of Mr. Johnson's cabinet had defended their boss. Bend over and take it up the ass from your boss. And look at this clown. Look at this fucking clown. Look at this fucking clown. Hey, were you and Morrison sucking each other's lollipop? Because, boy, you guys fit in the same fucking club. By Wednesday, nearly every member of Mr. Johnson's cabinet had defended their boss against demands for his resignation after he was fined by the police for breaching lockdown laws on Downing Street. Yep. It's a freak show. Speaking of which, colleagues worry Dianne Feinstein is now mentally unfit to serve. She's a senator from California, citing recent interactions. You worry Dianne Feinstein's not mentally fit? You're all fucking not mentally fit. Who do you like? Adam Shit? No, I like Mitch McConnell. Yeah, no, Lindsey Graham. He's fit for me. No, little Chucky Schumer. One piece of shit after another. Mentally unfit. They're all mentally Morrison. A freak show. A crime syndicate. This Dianne Feinstein's been sucking off the public tit for 53 years. 53 years. 88 years old, still there out of her fucking mind with all the rest of them. And speaking of which, out of your fucking mind, good news, the CDC expanded that mandate. Where is that over here? For the masks. Yeah, they got to keep going on. And how many days? Let's see. I think it's like till May 3rd. They're making this shit up. You got to wear them on airplanes. They're making it up. How come not May 5th? How come not May 7th? They're making it up. The virus doesn't come to you when you're eating and drinking, but it comes to you when you're not, so put the mask on. All right? It's a freak show, and the freaks are taking us to World War III. We are going to go through an economic crisis the likes of which we've never seen. It's in front of everybody's eyes, but they're lying about it. Inflation's only temporary, transitory, and transgendatory. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. We're fighting for freedom, and we're giving you information that you won't find anywhere else in the world. And don't forget Trends in the News at Substack.com. Yep, we're putting everything out there we can to help you. Subscribe to the Trends Journal, support Occupy Peace, or bend over and take it from Morrison. Suck up to Johnson, and I love Not So Feinstein. Buona Pasqua. See you next week. From COVID war to Ukraine war to world war. Are you prepared for what's next? These are unprecedented times. What's next? What's going to happen? Read the Trends Journal. We have an unsurpassed track record of forecasting history before it happens. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happens. From the world leader in trend forecasting.